All right, so now that we know about value, let's create our value scale. So the first color we have is a little bit of green mixed with a lot of white, and then a little bit more green mixed with less white, and then green mixed with black and white, and then a little bit of green mixed with some black, and then a lot of black mixed with a little bit of green. This creates a nice value scale of green, which we're going to use to create our flower. Now you also are going to have white in a separate container for the end to add highlights, but for now let's just work with our green scale. All right, now let's draw the flower. So I had to switch to this little smaller paper so you could see everything that I was doing and so I could draw it darker. So with your pencil, draw a big circle. That takes up more than half of your paper. That's going to be our guideline for our petals coming out from the center of the flower. So first draw the center of the flower, just a oval, and then start drawing the petals. You can go a little bit past our circle, but this is going to make sure that all of our petals are kind of the same size, that they end at a certain point and start at a certain point. So we're going to make a pointy petal and we're going to go all the way around our center of the flower. Now at the top, petals kind of bend down, so you can try to get a little creative and add that little bend. If you want to just keep straight petals, that's totally fine too. Then we're going to add the center. It's just lines and circles and all the way around, but you can do whatever kind of center point you would like. This is just the one that I chose. And then from the center, you need to go down and draw the stem. That's going to go all the way to the bottom of your paper, and then add some leaves to the stem to fill up that space down there. After you're satisfied, just take a second and look at it. See if you want to add anything anywhere else to just fill the space. And if you do, go ahead and add it now. If not, no problem. Now that we have our flower drawn out, we're going to dip into our paint. We're going to start with the lightest color and we're going to fill in all of the petals. The reason we're starting with the lightest color is because we're not really going to wash our brush between, because we want to make sure that these colors blend all together. So go ahead and just map it out. If you need to outline your petals first so you know where they are and then fill them in, do that. If you need more paint, dip into more paint. But all of the petals need to be this lightest color. Once you have all of your petals painted with that lightest color, we are going to dip into the next color on the scale to just add some more dimension to our petals. So adding that center fold and adding, if you bent any of your petals, the under part of the petal where it bends should be darker than the lighter parts. And then we're going to use this to do the base of the center flower as well. And then go ahead and put it on the stem and the leaves. We're just going to keep on with this pattern, so let's dip into our next darkest color, and we're going to start in the center, do the bulbs for the pollen of the flower, and just keep going until you feel like you have enough that fill the center of the flower, and then just keep using this as a shadow color. You can add shadowing to the petals as well, but you have to pick a light source, just like we talked about last week, and continue on with that. So if the sun is on top of the flower, then everything on the bottom of the flower should have a shadow. and just blend it in. You can dip back into the lighter color before this one and blend it into the petals, but that's what we're trying to do, because normally in the real world, shadows aren't just one straight line. They will blend in with the object creating the shadow or what is being projected onto the shadow. I'm going to use this darker color as well to do the stem. I want it a lot darker than the petals itself, just to have some variety and to make it stand out. Now we're going to dip into the darkest color that we have to add the absolute shadows. So just add this anywhere you feel like should have a shadow. Eyeball it. You can always paint over it. You can always mix in a lighter color. So don't be afraid to add this shadow to your stem, to your leaves, and to your petals, and to the center of the flower. This is really what's going to pop out our flowers and really add this value to it. Once all of that is done, take your new brush, dip into the white, and add your highlights. So your highlights are where the light would hit, and we're not painting anything solid with the white. We're just adding these little highlights, just a little pop of light. After you feel like you've added enough highlights, that all of your colors are blended the way that you would like, take a second and just look at it and make sure you are done.